limited time exclusive incentive. This is really gonna boost sales like crazy. Holy crap, guys, the CEO just changed BaaS, and damn, it is gonna boost sales by a whole lot. And it just changed everything, and there's a ton of incentives. There's so much to go through, man. And holy moly, it's one of the best things that they've ever done. It's great for NIO, it's great for investors, it's great for existing NIO owners, it's great for future buyers. So I'm gonna cover everything in this video. So BaaS used to cost $980 per month, RMB per month, plus 80 battery insurance fee. And for the long range, it was 1,680 plus 80 RMB per month, and which was kind of pricey. A lot of people were complaining, but that got straight up lowered down to 728 per month, which is a 332 difference for the standard range, and then for the long range down to 1,128, which is a 632 RMB difference. So it got cheaper. BaaS got cheaper, but this is not where it stops. And of course, they got rid of the battery insurance fee 80, which is redundant because you know, the insurance of the car covers the battery. So this is not it. They also added a 100 RMB voucher for every month that you pay BaaS, and this voucher is used for purchasing a new NIO. So for example, you paid for BaaS for 10 months, then you have 1,000 RMB worth of vouchers for purchasing a new NIO. So this of course incentivizes you to buy a new NIO, which is absolutely crazy. So for example, existing NIO owners like me that is on BaaS, all right, we also get vouchers for every single BaaS month that we've paid in the past as well. So for me, I'm on the 39.5th month of BaaS, so 40 months of BaaS payments, and that means I have about 4,000 RMB worth of vouchers, that discount that I can use to buy a new NIO, which is quite crazy. And these vouchers have a 5-year expiration, non-transferable. So it definitely fixes BaaS and just incentivizes people to, you know, switch the car, which is what BaaS was supposed to be. Now, it doesn't really stop there, all right? There's so much more to talk about. So buying the battery, a lot of people complain that, you know, paying BaaS is just renting the battery, and then if you want to buy the battery, it's, you know, all the rent payment is wasted. Well, here they've actually added a voucher towards purchasing the battery, buying the battery back. So starting on the 13th month, from the 2nd year to the 5th year, you will get 460 RMB per month voucher that goes towards purchasing back the battery. For the long range, you get 820 RMB per month in voucher that goes towards purchasing the battery. So you can get a maximum of 48 months worth of vouchers to purchase back the battery. So that means that by the 5th year, all right, you can basically, doing some math, 460 times 48 equals 22,080 RMB saved. So that means before this policy, if I wanted to buy the battery back, if I wanted to buy the battery and stop by BaaS contract, I would have to pay 70,000 RMB for the standard range battery pack. But with these vouchers, I'm able to save 22,080 at around 5 years, all right? Buying back the battery only costs 47,920 for the standard range. For the long range, the battery used to cost 128,000 RMB, which is quite pricey. Imagine paying monthly payments of 1,680. You pay for years, and then buying back the battery still costs that much. Well, with the long range battery pack, the vouchers save you 39,360. So for the long range battery pack, if you want to buy it back, it only costs 88,640 RMB. So definitely a significant discount, which is very nice. So you can also buy the battery back cheaper. And also, NIO is coming out with a limited time exclusive incentive from now until May. If you buy the car with BaaS, you will get 1 month free for every 4 months of BaaS payments. essentially 20% off the BaaS price, of the new BaaS price, all right? Not the old one, the new BaaS price, 20% off basically. And you get 60 battery swap vouchers. 60! Holy crap. And remember, that stacks up with the existing incentives like free NIO phone, JD vouchers, a free charger, and then also some other swap vouchers. So you might get like almost 100. All right, almost 100. You get like, yeah, almost 100 swap vouchers for free. Something like 98 probably. Yeah, crazy, crazy, crazy. And they also implemented a smart BaaS contract switch. So a big problem that people had was for BaaS, people, for me, for example, I'm renting the 70 kilowatt hour standard range battery pack. If I want to start renting the 100 kilowatt hour long range battery pack, I can do that, right? But it's very hard for people that are renting the 100 kilowatt hour battery pack to downgrade and permanently rent the 75 standard range battery pack. So what they've done is they've just basically implemented a contract switch. So for example, my contract is the standard range and then someone else has the long range. If I want to upgrade, they will basically match my contract. I want to upgrade and then someone else wants to downgrade, and we'll just have a contract switch. So I'll be taking over his contract of the 100 kilowatt hour battery pack, and then I'll be renting the 100, and then he'll be renting the 75 and taking over my contract basically. So this is also a very smart way to minimize losses. Now, what does this all mean? This just means BaaS is back, guys. BaaS used to be very unfair, used to be a very bad deal, but now it is just such a good deal, especially if you plan to use the car for only about 5 or so years and you actually do intend to switch the 100 RMB voucher towards purchasing a new vehicle. That is just a killer. That's a killer good deal. And the CEO said on stage, it's a win-win-win-win situation. It's a win for NIO because they get to sell more cars. It's a win for existing NIO owners because they get to pay less for their BaaS payments. It's a win for second-hand dealers because now BaaS cars are more desirable. And it's another win for NIO owners because they can buy a new NIO for slightly cheaper price. That limited time incentive from now until May, that's also gonna hugely boost sales like crazy, man. Everybody's gonna be buying cars with BaaS now. I mean, it's a no-brainer now. 60 swap vouchers and also 20% off of BaaS payments. That is crazy. That is just crazy. And these incentives, they just make BaaS so much more reasonable, so much more desirable. So, and remember, BaaS lowers the basic purchasing price of the car. So now, NIO just flipped the switch. All their cars are pretty much going to be purchased under the BaaS method, and people are going to be paying a lot less, at least from now until May. And this is really going to boost sales like crazy. Yeah, like crazy, man. NIO really did the right thing here. They listened to all the complaints that NIO owners had, the BaaS NIO owners had. Now, someone asked the interesting question, why is BaaS here not like Europe, where in Europe, everybody has to choose BaaS if they want to do battery swap? And NIO CEO actually said, yeah, indeed, in Europe, the BaaS choose rate is around 98%. So most people, they choose BaaS there. But here in China, battery swap is not tied to BaaS, and they don't want to tie it to BaaS because they do want to give people the flexibility to buy the car. And BaaS did come out after battery swap, so this would also be, they don't want to limit sales, and this is what they're saying. They don't want to limit sales. So in other words, you could think that BaaS over there in Europe might be limiting sales as well. So this is the flip side, all right? The CEO is saying that we don't want to tie battery swap to BaaS here in China because he thinks it might limit sales. He wants to give consumers the flexibility. And also, don't forget, you lower the taxes, all right? You lower your purchase tax, which is quite crazy, quite insane. Most people forget about that. And what people should be doing is buy the car with BaaS, rent the battery instead of buying it. And then maybe after a year, if you don't want to pay BaaS payments, you could buy it back, buy the battery back. Right now, the rule is you can only buy the battery back after 1 year of BaaS payments so that you can't really say it's tax evasion. But also with this new policy now, why would I buy the battery back? I would just keep on paying BaaS payments. It's just such a good deal. And then use those vouchers if I want to upgrade to another NIO, basically sell my existing one. That would be a very good deal as well. So BaaS is back. People are going to be buying the car with BaaS, and just a very good incentive. And it is going to boost sales for sure. Secondhand car prices also estimated to be increased by at least 20,000 RMB in resale value for BaaS vehicles because of these implementations. So that's also very, very nice. As always, stay safe, stay healthy. Peace out.